Hey, what's going on, guys? I just got on watching My Adventure Superman Season 1, Episode 4. So, continuing on, the whole entire gang is now switching their efforts of research into aliens. And that's kind of how we start off this episode. Going off of that, the chief calls them in, and this is where they're actually selected for a story. So, they have to investigate Dr. Ivo, and Kent Clark knows this man is very much a criminal and he's working underground pretty much. Evil, he's part of the underground tech world of Metropolis. And yeah, so they have to go into this party and do some research. And we get to where they all dress up. Of course, you got Jimmy, who's kind of the odd one out for this whole episode. He is kind of on his own. He's got his camera and his equipment. He wants to take a photo with them. But they kind of just shrug him off in the beginning of this. Of course, Lewis and Kent are looking at each other, giving them both, the ooh la la eyes. But going on, they go into the party, and of course, Lewis has some questions that are very directive, what you would say, like, oh, what type of evil? Can you explain what happened during your whole paying someone as governor? It just, those type of stupid questions that Lewis would ask that are very much not good looks. Like, why would someone answer those? But she kind of goes up to everyone. King Clark tries to do this, but he's like, hey, Lewis, I can't do this. I gotta switch questions because no one's gonna answer these because they're incriminating questions and everyone's turning everyone away. And the only one that really gets to talk to anyone is Jimmy, and he gets to talk to the governor because he had a camera and he's taking pictures of the governor's family together, and he thinks, oh, we're gonna be on the cover. He's got his like little stupid black light, which I guess is useful later on. Anyway, out of nowhere after all this, Dr. Ivo makes his grand entrance, and after that, he kind of talks to Kent Clark because Kent actually goes up to him to talk to him, and he wants to be a part of this whole newspaper thing, but he overheard this talk he was having with one of his business partners. Basically, the man has been screwing around and not making the money that he should be, and he's getting kicked off, even though he's basically the big head honcho. So they're like, hey, we want to get rid of you. So that becomes important as well. Going off from that, King Clark talks to him, and he's talking about his like barrage of women that he'll give that to Clark if he lets, both of them have a little interview. He makes fun of Lewis, and what that does is it triggers Kent Clark, and yeah, he incriminates the Dr. Ivo, gets thrown out by his bodyguards, and yeah, he's in the dumps. So, of course, out of the back door where he's thrown back where the trash cans are, Lewis comes and they have like this cute little talk, and this is where we almost get a kiss scene. Almost, hey, you want to be my girlfriend, Lewis? But no, it doesn't happen. So in between all this, we know there's this tech lab. Dr. Ivo is planning something, and well, they come back, and now we know that Dr. Ivo reveals this like costume that he has. And what this costume is it's equivalent of like a Superman suit is what we should be saying. It's called the Parasite 1.0. So he has his partner and they're yeah, they're working pretty close together. Anyway, he's not very important at all. I just don't think so. Besides, he just gets duked on in this episode, I feel like. But yeah. So he's revealing the Parasite 1.0 on stage as Lewis and Kent are trying to get back together with everything. And yeah, you remember that guy earlier that was kicking him off of his team and talking about it? Well, he tries to use him as some type of test subject. And he smashes him through one of the windows and dangles him. This is where our man, Kent Clark, and everyone else realize what's going on after all the screams. Kent Clark, aka now, changes into Superman. Superman gets there, and of course, he helps save the one guy, and now we have to fight Dr. Ivo, the Parasite 1.0 suit wearer. So let me kind of explain the Parasite 1.0. Basically, if you hit it, it gets stronger and it absorbs the powers and makes it stronger. Besides that, you know, I can't really say much else about it. It just takes every hit. Like if he hits it, the forces deduct it, and it gives him the power. Okay. Anyway, Superman comes in, and a force field is made up because his partner stayed back behind the stage. He's like behind this like little glass window area, and it's like the control room. Anyway, it's electric fence. I don't know what you would call it, but it's just electric off. Anyway, yeah, they start fighting. Ken Clark gets beat up a ton because every time he hits, he doesn't do any damage. But he gets hit a bunch into the electric fence. This is where Lewis and Jimmy go to fight his partner. His partner gets beat up by Lewis on one punch. The switch gets turned off. And this is where Kent Clark figures it out, aka Superman. Uh, hey, if I don't fight him, he doesn't get anything from it. And he gets transformed into this, like, shrunk human. Basically destroyed, he gets fried. And yeah. So, Superman gives him up to the ambulance, I guess the EMS. And yeah, that's the whole thing about Dr. Ivo. His partner, we don't know what happens to him besides he gets duped by Lewis Lane. Yeah. So moving on from that, the tech's all gone after Kent Clark comes back and they try to do some investigating. And Lewis and Kent do kiss and they talked about how it was actually a date. Jimmy, I feel really bad because Jimmy was left out of this. Something I forgot to talk about earlier, which is really major, is that whenever they were doing research, Kent actually pocketed a little article. And what this article was about a boy that flew in Kansas. This is where, at the very end of this episode, oh my god. So we have that scene of Jimmy being jealous and upset. He's going on about three best friends, but it's really the two of them walking together. But at the very end, Lewis has Kent's jacket because she was cold. She was wearing a dress. Oh my. So the paper comes out and she gets her board out, and this is where everything finally connects because she saw there was a missing piece to a book, and she's like, Superman is Kent. So the reveal took a while. We'll see how it goes because I still have a feeling that Kent Clark is going to be able to deny it. But at the same time, I could see why they would reveal Superman this early. I mean, goodness. If you did 10 episodes of Kent Clark being also Superman, it'd be kind of weird at the same time, but there's still the off chance where this could stay. Anyway, guys, let me know how you felt about this episode. I thought it was really awesome. This one felt like very fast compared to a lot of the other episodes. I liked how they gave us basically two endings. Well, three, because you have the missing tech, which obviously that one white haired dude is connected to all this. We already know Livewire and all those incidents, 100% connected. There's no doubt in our minds. This is what happens. Is happening, should I say. But yeah, I have been loving this. And I guess the second ending is the love story that I do adore it. I think it's awesome. I think it's cute. And then you have the obvious Ken Clark is Superman. It's always these like little endings that sometimes become like false endings in the next episode, if you know what I mean, and it equates to nothing. Like last episode. Last episode, Lewis Lane figures something about Superman. She still thinks Superman, there's something wrong with him, but now she's connecting the dots and things are starting to make sense. Before I blabber too much, guys, I just wanted to say thank you, stay safe, and peace.